Hello there. How's everybody doing? Welcome. We're going to give people a chance to come in. I hope you guys like the funky music. We're going to see how... Hello there. How's everybody doing? Yeah. Hope I'm not too loud, long, country, and dead strong. Wrong. But, yeah, thank you. Let me get some people shared on here. All right. I hope everybody's having a good week. Make sure to share this video. I hope everybody's having a beautiful. We're going to share this thing via Twitter. Yes. And via Face bitch. Yes, I think that's all I can do right now. Maybe I'll throw it on Blogger. This is becoming a little irritating. All right, so we're talking about the Monroe Institute, all right, out-of-body experience training, also known as the Gateway Experience, all right, the Gateway Experience from the Monroe Institute. We're training people to be able to achieve an out-of-body state at will, all right. So thank you guys for joining me. Sorry about the temporary and repeating sound problems that we've been having. Let me make sure everything's good. Joining me. Sorry about the... Yeah, so here we go. So as everybody knows, all right, if you subscribe here and to the BiomedRx channel, that I am a neurofeedback clinician. I'm a neurohacker and the owner of the BiomedRx Health Center, which is a holistic health center here in Southern California in the Los Angeles area. And, a little bit east of Los Angeles. And we perform neurofeedback and cranial electrotherapy stimulation, audio-visual brain entrainment, and neurofeedback. EEG biofeedback. So we do these therapies to help people deal with ADD, ADHD, anxiety, stress, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, autism spectrum disorder, and a lot of different conditions. But we also do it for people who just want to feel better and do better in life and perform better. And these are called peak performers. So we do an awful lot of peak performance training. Peak performance meaning training people to get peak performance out of their brain and out of their body, out of their mental and physical capacities. And we help you to not only work harder, work better, think more clearly, concentrate harder, be more creative, access your creativity, love better, We can change and alter any aspect of your personality. We have 3,700 plus titles of audio files for self-hypnosis, and we're also extensively working in binaural beats. Now, if you go to the BiomedRx channel, and I suggest that you do, subscribe to BiomedRx TV here on YouTube, and also hit the bell for notifications. But go through the archives of BiomedRx TV and right here, and they have videos explaining about binaural beats and the Monroe Institute and all the rest of this, right? So I want you guys to go and check that out. All right, and get caught up. But and also while you're at it, you can also go to my right here, right? Thanks for watching. So please remember to go ahead and hit the like, get the likes up, share, share it right now. Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube. All right, share it everywhere. But I want to get everybody caught up. You can also go to my other Devin Lockett channels, all right, and see the other videos about this experience called the Gateway Experience. I have been undergoing the Gateway Experience now. This is my second week, okay? This is week two of the Gateway Experience. I don't know when I'm going to actually be able to accomplish achieving an out-of-body state, but I will definitely let you know when that happens. I can say that right now, the Gateway Experience is helping me to obtain a state of expanded consciousness, expanded awareness. And yesterday, on one of my other Devin Lockett channels, we started talking about that, the concept of expanded awareness, expanded consciousness, and what that means to people who are undergoing the Gateway Experience through the Monroe Institute. And I guess today I can elaborate on that a little bit further. Actually, what I should do is get us back on the other frame, okay? The other frame that within which we are talking about the Gateway Experience, all right? Okay, yesterday we stopped here at from Big Bang to Taurus. So we're going to fade on in, and I'm going to read. Now, the document that I'm getting ready to read from is a document that was done just recently, released as recently as 2003 by the Central Intelligence Agency. But it is about work that had just been completed right before my entry into the United States Air Force. Right before I went into the Air Force, they finished this work. And this was an investigation into the Gateway Experience. Like I said, the Gateway Experience is a group of audio files put together by the Monroe Institute in order to empower people to obtain an out-of-body experience. And this is not an official document from the Monroe Institute. This is, however, an official document from the CIA. So without further ado, I'm going to share this with you. Thank you for your cheers. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are too kind. You're far too kind. Thank you. All right, so here we are. Now, I'm going to pick up from where I left off yesterday. Of course, these documents are kind of long and, kind of wordy. So I don't want to just continue popping over the same information over and over again, right? So I'm just going to trying to get us caught up to where we are. What I'm trying to explain here is that in the process of going through the Gateway Experience, you're going to find that your consciousness is expanding. Even if you do not achieve an out-of-body experience, you're definitely going to get to know yourself better than you've ever known yourself. You're going to get what is called a thought bubble. As you listen to these audio files over and over and over again, you train the brain. The brain responds very favorably to repetitive training in close interval. And as you do this repetitive training, you will find that you are provoking a permanent shift in cognitive function. Now, of course, it's best to lie down and listen to the audio files in a location where you will not be disturbed. But it is also very effective if you listen to them while you're doing things other than driving. You're doing things that like leisurely activities. Like, for example, my son is playing video games, and he can be listening to the audio files of the Gateway experience in the meantime. But as you listen, as you provoke a shift in cognitive function by working the Gateway experience, you will find that you think differently, that your personality changes differently in many ways. You're going to find yourself to become more confident. You're going to find yourself to become more self-assured inside of yourself, assertive. You're going to find that you are more capable of dealing with the vicissitudes of life and taking it in stride. You'll find that your personality changes in ways that people who you have known up until now may find discomforting, because it's an adjustment in you, which means it is an adjustment in your relationship with them. And these things are going to happen. These phenomena are going to happen. And right now, we're talking about I'm on the document that I'm about to start picking up reading from. We're talking about the metaphysical understandings, the understandings about the metaphysically given reality, physical reality, right, that take place as a result of a person studying. And this is studying. I mean, even though you're not reading words and memorizing the contents of the words or trying to read with comprehension of the contents of the words, you are nonetheless still studying. And training the brain is studying. Training the brain is studying because the brain learns, right? Repetitive training of the brain learns. The brain will retain the work, whether you're reading something or whether you're simply training the brain for function, right? So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to come here back to my live stream. Hope everybody is doing great. And as you learn, as you do your training, as you do this Gateway experience, you will find that you gain, through osmosis, I guess you can say, an understanding of the metaphysical details of life. And that's what we're going to be touching on here, okay? You need to understand these things because the steps are, first you do the out-of-body experience, and then you can take your consciousness and actually transcend space-time. Once you transcend space-time, you actually can get a glimpse of the infinite. When you transcend space-time, your visits within the infinite realm of space-time take place in what is considered a second or a millisecond of time in this time. Okay, so it's very, very powerful experience. 24. From Big Bang to Torus. Working from the widely accepted Big Bang theory, Bentov presents a conceptual model to depict the process of time-space evolution, the relative position of the universal hologram. That hologram is often called a torus because it is thought to have the overall shape of an immense self-contained spiral. Basing this thesis on recent studies concerning the distribution of quasars, quasi-stellar objects, quasars. Remember the quasars, right? and operating on the premise that in the universe, smaller processes tend to be mirror images of larger ones, i.e., the pattern of electrons around the nucleus of an atom mirrors the way planets orbit their suns, and so on. Bentov postulates the following scenario. Taking his cue from the observed capability of quasars to eject enormously concentrated beams of matter from their interiors in a controlled non-concentric versions of the Big Bang, he envisages a similar process occurring in the generation of the universe. See Exhibit 4, next page. Noting that those galaxies located to the north of our own galaxy that those galaxies located to the north of our own galaxy are moving away faster than those located to the south, and that those to the east and west are demonstrably more distant. Bentov regards this as substantive evidence that the jet of matter which expanded into our universe has turned back upon itself, eventually forming an ovoid or egg shape. He sees matter in our universe entering the ovoid pattern following ejection from a nucleus composed of extremely compressed energy through a white hole. At the end of it is a trip to the far end of the ovoid. He sees it departing via a black hole. In such a model, time is observed to be a measure of the change which occurs as energy evolves into new, more complex forms as it progresses along the distance from the white hole side of the nucleus around the shell of this cosmic egg until it enters the black hole. In other words, as energy expelled from infinity and confined within limits by the conscious of the absolute achieves form and motion following ejection from the white hole at the top of the egg, time begins as a measure of the cadence of this evolutionary movement as reality goes around the shell of the egg on its journey back to the black hole at the far end. So there's going to be a time when it's all over. It's all over for all of us. It's all over for even the universe that we know. And then it's going to be another rebirth. And maybe that's happening in every observable black hole, in every star that explodes. Our place in time. The observed distribution of galaxies suggests that our particular universe is located near the top of the egg at the point where matter begins to fall back on itself, thus explaining the reason why the galaxies to the north seem to be moving away more rapidly as they are caught up in the downturn of the stream of matter towards the far end of the cosmic egg. See Exhibit 5 on the next page. Layered over this cosmic egg is the absolute, which is God, which contains the radiating nucleus from which the original jet of matter issued forth. Let there be light. As the stream of matter moves around the ovoid towards its destination at the black hole where it first began. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The direction of time and space evolving. The white hole spat everything out. And all of the stars are just evolving and coming around and whatever. And then back into the opposite pole. Wow. Incredible, isn't it? It's a Taurus. It's a Taurus. Will be absorbed into the radiating nucleus and then the absolute. It generates the interference pattern with the cosmic egg, which constitutes the universal hologram or torus. Since the torus is being simultaneously generated by matter in all the various phases of time, it reflects the development of the universe in the past, present, and future as it would be seen from our particular perspective in one phase of time. By reflecting on this model, it becomes possible to, quote, see how human consciousness brought to a sufficiently altered focus state could obtain information concerning the past, present, and future, since they all exist in the universal hologram simultaneously. Now, this is where I am reaching right now in my training in the Gateway Experience, okay? I am not able to exit my body. I am not able to do an out-of-body experience, but I have had flashes of occurrences that have occurred in the past, in the present, and in the future with spot-on accuracy, all right? Moreover, it is possible to see how the implosion of energy patterns would cross and recross to create an incredibly complex four-dimensional hologram or torus in spiral shape and reflection of the multi-dimensional developing pattern of evolution. All of the movements of the energies which comprise the universe leave their mark and hence tell their story throughout time. Okay? Quality of consciousness. We noted earlier that the out-of-body state, a little lotion here. We noted earlier that the out-of-body state involves projection of a major portion of the energy pattern that represents human consciousness so that it may move either freely throughout the terrestrial sphere for purposes of information acquisition or into other dimensions outside of time-space, perhaps to interact with other forms of consciousness within the universe. Think about that. Okay, we're going to go over this paragraph, this sentence again. We noted earlier that the out-of-body state involves projection of a major portion of the energy pattern that represents human consciousness so that it may move either freely through the terrestrial sphere for purposes of information acquisition or into other dimensions outside of time-space, perhaps to interact with other forms of consciousness within the universe, maybe to visit deceased relatives, or maybe to ask questions of the Orisha, or maybe to witness the Odu Ifa firsthand, or maybe to talk to some angels, or maybe to talk to, like I said, relatives who have passed on before, right? Or maybe to communicate with beings that don't know who you are, okay? And, well, you don't know who they are, but they know who you are, and they can tell you things that would help you with your life. There are many, many possibilities that can happen in this scenario. This is real, people. What I am describing to you is real. And I don't want you to think that I'm just pulling your leg or bullshitting you. Out-of-body experiences and the gateway experience is becoming, well, actually, it has become a viral subject online, and I'm here to explain to you exactly what's going on, because this kind of work is inevitably going to become part of open consciousness, okay? We noted earlier that the out-of-body state involves projection of a major portion of the energy pattern that represents human consciousness so that it may move either freely throughout the terrestrial sphere for purposes of information acquisition or into other dimensions outside of time-space, perhaps to interact with other forms of consciousness within the universe. Consciousness is the organizing and sustaining principle that provides the impetus and guidance to bring and keep energy in motion within a given set of parameters so that a specific reality will result. When consciousness reaches a state of sophistication in which it can perceive itself, its own hologram, it reaches the point of self-cognition. Human beings have this form of elevated consciousness, as does the Absolute, but in case of the latter, it is a function of energy and its associated quality of consciousness in infinity, omniscience, and omnipotence, and perceptual unity. This is something that has to be described as God. When energy returns to a state of total rest within the absolute, it returns to the continuum of consciousness in the pool of limitless, timeless perception that resides there. Thus, the more complex an energy system in the material state, the more consciousness it possesses to maintain its reality. Think about that. The more complex an energy system in the material state, the more consciousness it possesses to maintain its reality. Our consciousness, therefore, is that differentiated aspect of the universal consciousness which resides within the absolute. It accounts for the organization of the energy patterns which constitute our physical body, but is distinctly separate from and superior to it. This is God. It accounts for the organization of the energy patterns which constitute our physical body, but is distinctly separate from and superior to it. And if it is a consciousness, it has a will. Since consciousness exists quite apart from and outside of reality, beyond the bounds of time-space, it, like the absolute, has neither beginning nor end. Your soul is eternal and God is eternal. Reality has both a beginning and an end because it is bounded within time-space. But the fundamental quantum of energy and its associated consciousness is eternal. When reality ends, its constituent energy simply returns to infinity in the absolute. Consciousness and perspective. Now, isn't that powerful? I mean, how can we, science is coming to justify the existence of God. Science is coming to validate and justify what we call a primacy of consciousness, right? Primacy of consciousness. Atheists believe in a primacy of existence philosophy. They believe that existence has primacy to consciousness, that you have consciousness as a result of your existence, and your existence is primal, has primacy over your consciousness, all right? The argument can be made that when a person is asleep or in a coma or knocked out or even dead, that the consciousness does not, is not there, but the existence, the person does still exist, that the person is still an existent human being. That has a little bit of logic to it, but the more you learn and the more you spiritually learn, the more you will come to understand that we are a consciousness that is possessing our body, and that we were created by an infinite consciousness that controls and knows all things, the things that we are and the things that we represent. All right. Thanks for getting involved, everybody. Thank you for coming online. Go ahead on and hit those likes and hit those bells and get us up. We're going to continue to discuss these esoteric subjects every day, because you know that that is what it's all about. That's what we do, and that's I'm Devin Lockett, and these are the things that I talk about. Okay, so these are the subjects that we're going to be talking about on a daily basis. All right, so you can prepare, right, to be given some pretty shocking information. All right, pretty shocking indeed. All right, yes. So I want to thank you guys for joining. Go ahead on and get the likes up. Share, right? Share these videos. I really appreciate it. And share it. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Appreciate it. Share. Okay. Now we're going to go down this paragraph here. Consciousness in perspective. All right. I want you guys to understand this, because these are the things that you are going to be experiencing as you listen to the audio files for the Gateway experience. Consciousness and perspective. Having ascertained that human consciousness is able to separate from physical reality and interact with other intelligences and other dimensions within the universe, and that it is both eternal and destined for ultimate return to the absolute, we are faced with the question, so what happens then? Since memory is a function of consciousness and therefore enjoys the same eternal character as the consciousness which accounts for its existence, it must be admitted that when consciousness returns to the absolute, it brings with it all the memories that has accumulated through the experiences in reality. The return of consciousness to the absolute does not imply an extinction of the separate entity which the consciousness organized and sustained in reality. Rather, it suggests a differentiated consciousness which merges with and participates in the universal consciousness and infinity of the absolute without losing separate identity. Okay, listen to this. Without losing separate identity and accumulated self-knowledge, which its memories confer upon it. What it does lose is the capability for generation of independent thought holograms, since that can be done only by energy in motion. Wow. So your creativity is what you have to indulge in while you're here on earth, because you won't have it in the afterlife. In other words, it retains the power to perceive, but loses the power of will or choice. In exchange, however, this consciousness participates in the all-knowing infinite continuum of consciousness, which is a characteristic of energy in the ever-present. Consequently, it is accurate to observe that when a person experiences the out-of-body state, he is, in fact, projecting that eternal spark of consciousness and memory, which constitutes the ultimate source of his identity, to let it play in and learn from the dimensions both inside and outside the time-space world in which his physical component currently enjoys a short period of reality. So basically, I'm going to tell you in good old-fashioned church terms, what he just said is, when you die, you are still yourself. You are a ghost, you are a spirit, and you are observing life like God. You are observing what's going on. You're floating around, you're observing, but you cannot act. And the best thing, the most powerful aspect of life as we know it, as I can deduct from listening to this, is that we have the power to act and create right now. And that's what we're doing right here on earth. And our life has so much purpose, because when we die, we won't have that power to act and create. And, in some kind of subconscious way, I already knew that. You already knew that. We already knew that, right? In some kind of subconscious way, we already knew that. But that's where we are, right? That's the existence that we're living in. We knew that. We already knew that, right? So, pardon that little sound check. I just wanted to make sure my mic was still on and pumping. All right. So let me go through a little bit more. I'm gonna drop this background sound down a little bit, because I know it's kind of funky, but we don't need to be funk marvelous all the time, funktabulous, funk normous all the time. Gateway method. Having put the gateway experience in context by postulating a structural outline of how and why it seems to work, having shown what it is designed to achieve, the time has come to examine the specific techniques which comprise the gateway training process. These techniques are designed to enable the user of the gateway tapes to manipulate the high energy states which can be achieved if the user continues to work with the tapes over a period of time. The amount of time required to reach advanced energy states and fully exploit the techniques varies with the individual. The sensitivity of his nervous system, his general state of mind, and the extent to which he may have previously developed facility in related techniques such as transcendental meditation are all pertinent factors affecting the speed at which he may expect to progress. Now, let me say, I am taking monatomic gold. I have found an internal desire to fast a lot since I've begun the gateway process, so I'm just rolling with it. I eat very little. I eat very little food, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the state of fasting. Yes, I have provoked permanent shifts all the way up to 50 hertz in just about every lobe of my brain using neurofeedback. I have definitely done neurofeedback training to the point of provoking permanent shifts. And so I think I've given myself sufficient preparation. I am already experiencing the personality changes and the character changes and the comfort in life changes that take place as a result of the gateway experience. And
message is received from 714-588-3388.
Let's listen.
Message is, hello Devin, we had an issue with one of the anesthesia mist chains today in room 1. I was wondering if you could come by tomorrow to take a look at it. I will call Remy in the morning.
Yes, I will be there in the morning. I love my clients. I really love my clients. Okay. Excuse me, I have to contact my client. Yes, service with a smile, BiomedRx Incorporated. We have to make sure that we take care of our clients. So I just want to let you know that the aspect of personality changing and getting the thought bubble and the experience bubble, that has begun. I am keeping my body as pure as possible, and I have a very well-trained brain with regard to neurofeedback and audiovisual brain entrainment and cranial electrotherapy stimulation and all of those types of training. So, s'il vous plaît, I am going to be continuing with this gateway experience, and I hope that you guys follow me with it. I'm going to read one or two more chapters here, and then I'm going to let you guys go because I'm going to go live on other channels. Okay? The sensitivity of his nervous system, his general state of mind, and the extent to which he may have previously developed facility in related techniques such as transcendental meditation are all pertinent factors affecting the speed at which he may expect to progress. The gateway process begins by teaching the individual participant to isolate extraneous concerns in a visualization device called the energy conversion box. A visualization box called the energy conversion box. Next, the participant is introduced to a method of encouraging his mind and body to strive to achieve a state of resonance through utterance of a single tone. Or that type of sound, right? A monotonous, protracted humming sound that sets up a feeling of vibration, particularly in the head. He engages in this resonant tuning, as it is called, by humming along with the chorus of such sounds that are contained on the gateway tape. Following this, the participant is exposed to the gateway affirmation. Remember, the gateway affirmation is basically a prayer and a plea for assistance from benevolent spirits on the other side to help you in your quest. Following this, the participant is exposed to the gateway affirmation and is encouraged to repeat it to himself as he hears it repeated on the tape. This affirmation is a statement to the effect that the individual realizes that he is more than merely a physical body and that he deeply desires to expand his consciousness. Hemisync introduced. Now, before we continue, before I start talking about Hemisync here, I want to thank you guys for joining me again. I want you to please get the likes up, get the comments up, let everybody know what's happening, and when you get a chance, you can go to BiomedRx CBD. I guess it's a bit of a shameless plug, but if you go to BiomedRx CBD, right, you will be able to try some of this delicious gold labeled CBD oil, okay? And as you can see, it is gluten-free, glyphosate-free, homogenized, third-party tested, CO2 extracted. It's grown in organic farms here in Southern California, and it doesn't get any stronger than 10,000 milligram strength, okay? So we start at 1,000 milligram strength. Most CBD oil goes up to 1,000 milligram strength. We start at 1,000 milligram strength, okay? So, quite naturally, our CBD oil packs a punch. And I mean a real punch, okay? And so you need that, right? You need that. You don't need to be messing around with weak ass CBD oil. You really don't. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. In fact, I'm not even gonna tell you. Oh, you can also while I'm here, while I got you online, you can also grab some of our Happy formula. Right, the Happy formula comes in a green bottle, and it does have CBD, but it also has CBG in it, cannabigerol. Cannabigerol is one of the 125 cannabinoids that you find in marijuana or in the cannabis plant. The effect that CBG has on you is a little bit lighter. It affects your ability to speak. It makes it easier for you to speak and articulate speech and to communicate with people. So that's one of my main anecdotal, I think it makes it easier to socialize. I think it makes it easier to talk if you have the kind of job that requires you to talk. And most importantly, it makes you happy. So we call that the Happy formula. All right. So I want you guys to take a moment before I go on with this information about the Hemisync and the out-of-body experience. I'd like you guys to go ahead on and take a word from our sponsor.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Yes, and while you're on our website, while you're on BiomedRxCBD.com, I just want to give you guys a word from our sponsor. While you're on BiomedRxCBD.com, you can grab our vitamins. We have vitamins for all ages and all genders. We have vitamins for men and vitamins for women.
BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency, full-spectrum, multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
So nice, so nice, so nice. So once again, thank you guys. We're gonna continue here talking about this in the next phase. All right. Now I'm introducing you to HemiSync. In fact, let's see if I can't get back over to our other screen now that you've seen the shameless plugs from our sponsors. Yeah, we're doing good. Let's make sure my mic is still on. Sometimes when I change scenes, the microphone drops out. Nope, mic is still good. I'm glad everybody's still doing good. So let's pick up where we left off here. HemiSync. All right, we're coming toward the meat of this, right? HemiSync introduced. After that, he is exposed for the first time to the HemiSync sound frequencies and is encouraged to focus on and develop a perception of and appreciation for those feelings which accompany the synchronization of brain waves that results. Next comes the technique of progressive and systematic physical relaxation while the HemiSync frequencies are expanded to include additional forms of pink and white noise designed to put the physical body at the virtual threshold of sleep, as well as to calm the left hemisphere of the mind while raising the right hemisphere to a state of heightened attentiveness. Once all of this is achieved, the participant is invited to envisage creation of an energy balloon comprised of an energy flow beginning at the center of the top of the head, a torus, and extending down in all directions to the feet. The energy involved in this flow then proceeds up through the body and back into the balloon pattern again. The energy balloon, which sets up a pattern very reminiscent of the cosmic egg discussed earlier, not only enhances bodily energy flow and encourages early achievement of a subtle resonant state, but it is also designed to provide protection against conscious entities possessing lower energy levels, which the participant might encounter in the event that he achieves an out-of-body state. You have to protect yourself, okay? It serves as a precautionary purpose in the unlikely event that the participant's first out-of-body experience involves direct projection outside the terrestrial sphere. Okay? Advanced techniques. Now we're talking. Okay, now we're getting into advanced techniques, and you're going to want to hear this. You're going to want to stick around for this. Let me see how my people are looking. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, advanced techniques. Having reached focus 10, the participant is now ready to endeavor to achieve a state of sufficiently expanded awareness to begin actually interacting with dimensions beyond those associated with his experience of physical reality. This state is called Focus 12 and involves conscious efforts on his part while additional forms of pink and white noise enter the sound stream being directed into his ears from the gateway tape. Once the participant has achieved this state of greatly expanded awareness, he is ready to begin employing a series of specific techniques or tools, as the Monroe Institute characterizes them, which enable him to manipulate his newly found expanded awareness to obtain practical, useful feedback of the value for promoting self-discovery and personal growth. The specific techniques involved are described individually below. Problem solving. This technique involves identifying fundamental problems which the individual wishes to see solved, filling his expanded awareness with his perception of these problems, and then projecting them out into the universe. Okay? In this way, the individual enlists the assistance of what Monroe Institute calls his higher self. In other words, his expanded consciousness to interact with the universal hologram to obtain the information required to solve the problem. What a form of intensive prayer. This approach may be used to solve personal difficulties, technical problems in the realm of physics, mathematics, etc., practical administrative problems, and so on. Responses to the problem-solving technique may be received almost immediately, but often they come based on developing intuition over the next 2 to 3 days. Wow. BiomedRx, may I help you? Well, it depends on which therapy that you're talking about. If you are interested in neurofeedback, that's EEG biofeedback. We train the brain to work more efficiently and help you deal with anxiety, stress, depression, or any number of cognitive issues. And if you're interested in biomagnetic pair therapy, we use pairs of permanent magnets to depolarize relationships between pH imbalances that exist in the body as a result of the presence of pathogens. So, yeah, what condition are you dealing with? Mm-hmm. Yes, we can take a holistic approach if you don't know exactly what you're dealing with, and you need a little bit of guidance in that. We can take the time to do a scan, and we can find any issues that you may have anywhere in the body. No, we actually take the negative pole of a magnet, the north pole, which promotes circulation, and we pass it to different areas of your body where we suspect there may be the presence of pathogens, meaning viri, bacteria, fungi, or parasites. And when the magnet reaches an area where there is a pH imbalance, the body is going to respond with tension. Now, since the heart is primarily on the left side of the body, the left side of the brain is more pronounced than the right. Everyone is like that. And since the left side of the brain controls the right side of the body and vice versa, whenever we find a pathogen with a magnet, the body is going to respond with tension, but that tension is going to have a greater appearance in the shortening of your right leg than in the shortening of your left, because the left hemisphere of the brain is controlling the right side of the body, and the left side of the brain is more pronounced. Okay, and so by doing that scan, we can find a number of different conditions that people suffer from time to time. Give yourself about an hour, because we're going to have to take about 30 minutes to do the scan, maybe more. And then once we put the magnets in the proper locations, you're going to have the magnets there in place for about 30 or 35 minutes at this distance from the equator in order for the magnets to take effect. No. It's $150 per session. It's very, very reasonable. $150. Mm. Yes, we will share with you a different dietary regimen. We'll give you tips on other things that you should be doing to cleanse yourself. In fact, if you go to YouTube and check out BiomedRx TV, or actually look for my name, Devin Lockett, you're going to find about 150 videos that I have online. Which Devin Lockett, DevinLockett. Just give me a look up online, and then you'll find a lot of videos that I give talking about holistic remedies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, the southeast corner of Mountain Avenue and Foothill Boulevard. Thank you. Well, I'll be here if you want to give us a call. I'll be here. Take care. Bye-bye. Once again, we have to deal with our clients, and so here we are. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Things are coming up well, and as long as you keep your clients happy, then you are doing your job, and that's what's important. All right, So we're only going to go through these next two, all right? I want to talk about patterning because I want you guys to know that you can alter your own future. You can alter your own life. Yes, you can. Okay? I am in the process of problem solving right now. So I'm going to, hold on. Kai? Oh, you have your headphones on. Is it playing?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good. And you're going there too, right? Good job.
Perfect.
My son is so smart. Why? Because he trains his brain every day at the BiomedRx Health Center. Okay? All right. I am blessed. I am truly blessed to have such an intelligent child. So, yes, you can solve problems. You can go into the meditation with the idea of I'm going to use my focus 10 to do some problem solving. And you can also go into the experience of using your focus 10 or focus 12 to pattern. Now, what is patterning? Patterning is when you actually get a glimpse through the oscillation of reality, when you get a glimpse of all of the potential realities that could exist in the future, and you are able to alter them so that you can place yourself as the king, as the king or queen of the world in the near future. Okay, so let's go over this. This is very important because this is the next stage that I'm trying to reach. Okay. Frequently, the response comes in the form of a sudden holistic perception in which the individual suddenly finds that he simply knows the answer and all of its ramifications and completely in context, sometimes without even being able to put his newly found perception into words, at least initially. In some cases, the response may even arrive in the form of visual symbols which the individual will see with his mind while he is in the focus 12 state, and which he will have to interpret after he returns to normal consciousness. Patterning. This technique involves the use of consciousness to achieve desired objectives in the physical, emotional, or intellectual sphere. It involves concentration on the desired objective while in a focus 12 state, extension of the individual's perception of that objective into the whole expanded consciousness, and its projection into the universe with the intention that the desired objective is already a matter of established achievement, which is destined to be realized within the time frame specified. We're going to go over that again. Okay, it involves concentration on the desired objective while in a focus 12 state, extension of the individual's perception of that objective into the whole expanded consciousness, and its projection into the universe with the intention that the desired objective is already a matter of established achievement, which is destined to be realized within the time frame specified. Act as if. This particular methodology is based on the belief that the thought patterns generated by our consciousness in a state of expanded awareness create holograms which represent the situation we desire to bring about, and in so doing, establish the basis for actual realization of that goal. Once the thought-generated holograms of the sought-after objective is established in the universe, it becomes an aspect of reality which interacts with the universal hologram to bring about the desired objective, which might not, under other circumstances, ever occur. You are speaking your reality in existence. In other words, The technique of patterning recognizes the fact that since consciousness is the source of all reality, our thoughts have the power to influence the development of reality in time-space as it applies to us. If those thoughts can be projected with adequate intensity. So if I get it to focus 12 and I imagine myself in my mansion surrounded with my multiple wives and my car collection outside, my bank account, my functioning businesses, my enterprises and my empire, that I will create that reality. However, the more complicated the objective sought and the more radically it departs from our current reality, the more time the universal hologram will need to reorient our reality sphere to accommodate our desires. Monroe trainers caution against attempting to force the pace of this process because the individual could succeed in dislocating his existing reality with drastic consequences. That is where I'm going to leave this today. I'm not going to start talking about color breathing because I think that is I think that's where I want to stop today, right, on this particular channel. Now I'm going to pick up with color breathing on the Devin Lockett, on the other Devin Lockett channel very soon. I've been, it's 3:59, it's 4 o'clock now, and we've been live for quite a while. And yeah, I think it's time to let this one go. I just want to let you guys know, I think it's time to let this one go. We're gonna depart, okay? And let me just get my whole thing here together. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead on and depart here, all right? On this color breathing. I'm not going to talk about color breathing right now, but I want to thank you guys for joining, and please remember to go ahead on and hit that subscribe, okay? I'm the one who will give you all of the conspiracy theory stuff, right? I'm the one who's going to give you all of the X-Files stuff, and we're just going to keep talking about it because I'm actually practicing the gateway experience, so I'm actually attempting to do all of these things. And I really appreciate you guys joining. Once again, I want you to please remember to subscribe, like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. I appreciate you guys coming to watch. Coming to watch these live videos. I really do. Like I said, I want you guys to make sure to visit BiomedRx, okay, the BiomedRx channel, and subscribe, all right? There are a lot of videos. I'm going to be going live there, and I'm going to be going live on a lot of my other Devin Lockett channels. As a matter of fact, I'm going to end this video and go live on another one and pick up where I'm talking right now, okay? And, remember to go ahead and hit that like button here and subscribe, okay? Subscribe. Give me that juice, right? And, once again, like always, I want everyone to stay kind, stay blessed, and stay healthy. Stay with it. I really appreciate the love. I really appreciate the support. I'm going to continue to try to hit this this gateway experience, and we shall see. We shall see. Okay. I'm combining it with a lot of other metaphysical practices, and It's going to be a very beautiful experience. I want to thank everyone. Keep the likes up, keep the shares up, share the videos, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. Thank everyone. I really appreciate you guys participating, and I'm out of here. Okay, have a wonderful day. Actually, you know what? Before we sign out, yeah, let me just go ahead and sign out. All right, have a wonderful day, guys. Peace.